Today is January 2nd, 2025. So this is a big day in history for this truck. 9 years ago today, this truck was in a wreck, the black one, 2016, and that's why this crew cab exists today. Somebody pulled out in front of it. I was on my way home from work. It was a Sunday night, and they pulled out in front of it, and it squished the whole passenger side in, bent the frame. It was on an 84 frame, 84 square body frame with a 6.2 Detroit diesel, and it squished the frame on the one side and pushed the one side back versus the other. It was all twisted up. It was screwed. And I bought it back from insurance for like $400. They gave me like $11,000 for this old thing. So I bought the second gen, that is the orange truck now. And anyway, that got wrecked too, so that's why it's the orange truck. Anyway, black truck sat in storage for a long time before I finally got this blue truck. And then it sat in storage again for a long time before I finally got back to it. And then since last June or July or so, I've been going balls to the wall on this thing. Got most of the metal work on the cab done. I still got to do rockers on this side and that spot on the door right there. And now here it is today, 9 years later, after the collision that made this thing possible. You know, I always had this idea long before that, but we're finally somewhere. We got a badass truck, 6.7 Cummins, full 4-door, leather seats. It's a pretty badass rig. So this is the video everybody has been asking for this whole time. How did I make this cab? So this is a picture collage of what I did over the years. It's kind of gapped and incomplete, but this is the pictures I took before I started making these YouTube videos.
Let me ask you something. I've been reading an awful lot in the newspapers and the magazines about me and my boys here. And I was reading one article in particular about an organization, you might have heard of it before, they're called the PMRC. Well, I read where they said that they think that we are sexual perverts. Now, this is coming from an organization called the Washington Wives. And I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds like some sort of goddamn Jackie Collins Hollywood fucking novel, if you ask me. Well, this is for that whole bunch, because they can suck me, eat me raw. This is Harder, Faster!
your singled out. The red, well, it filters through. So lay down, the threat is real. When his side goes red again, seeing red again, seeing red again. This change he won't contain. Slip away to clear your mind. When asked who made it show, the truth he gives into most. So lay down, the threat is real. When his side goes red again. So lay down, the threat is real. When his side goes red again. So lay down, the threat is real. When his side goes red again. Sing red again, 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 sing red.
This is where I left off at, so I'm gonna try to figure out where I can pick back up. This does not look to be square to me, so I'm gonna probably start with that. I saw a dude, one of the guys on in a Facebook group, he made his pillar a little bit different. He's a guy who's gonna put a Duramax in his truck, and so he put a spacer there so that way the rear door was back here. And I'm sure if anybody's looked at these, they can see that the rear window is longer than the front window. And I want them to be more symmetrical if I can do it, if at all possible. So I'm gonna probably cut out this pillar and remake it, or weld in a spacer there, and then the rear piece of the door is gonna be back here, and hopefully the window is a little more symmetrical to the front window. And then obviously wing windows and a wing window back here somewhere, however it's gonna work. So the time is now 8 o'clock. I don't even know what time I did the last update. But anyway, I have this welded in now. This is the shape I want it to be, at least. It's all spot welded. There's quite a bit more that needs to be done, obviously. I have this one roughed in, kind of, sort of. I got a piece of metal here that is spot welded to this, spot welded to that. And this thing's just floppy right here. It's not supported by this down here yet. So it's not a full circle, square. So what I'm working on right now is trying to make this. Yeah, that's way uphill. I did not realize that was so far off there. I was just playing with it. I had it more like that before, but I need this to be straight here. This line is gonna have to be straight with this line. So obviously this is the front part of the door, used to be, and they make this little inward curve right there where the wing window is mounted. So I have to find a way to straighten that out so it's completely flush and straight with this body line when I get all this worked out. All right, so here's the spot welds all the way down the front of the door. I guess this is a success if this door opens and works halfway properly. So here we see what we got. Oh, buddy, this makes me happy. So it's got all its strength back, because it lost all of its strength whenever that was cut open. Now the door has some structure back. Now we can figure out what we're gonna do with all this up here. Yeah, that looks good. Now let's see how it looks up against this door. All right, so there'll have to be a little bit of metal work there. It's not exactly perfect, but it wasn't perfect before. I'm just happy that, you know, it is as close as it is. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do here. Probably just a lot of Bondo. Probably not. That was a joke. We'll figure it out, though. You know, the door, the hinges adjust in and out, but it is, I don't know if this is a result of the wreck, but it was like this before I welded it. Don't judge me too hard. But anyway, like it does that right there. Like it, yeah, I don't know, you can probably see it, but we'll have to figure all that out. We will have to figure all of that out. But I think I'm gonna do that part next. Or right there. Gotta get this line to be parallel with that one. So we'll see what we got here. Hey, dude. All right, so it is 11:04 at night. Here's where I've gotten to. Let's see. Yeah, this is still floppy. Has no support behind it. This line's pretty well straight. The length of it. I'm gonna have to get something built behind this so that way it holds it right where it's supposed to be. But anyway, what I was doing different about this side than the other side, just to see if I like it, is leaving this gap here. Of course, this is still hanging. So with that gap, I got this thing hand bent. Not exactly perfect, but it is hitting the inner piece of the door right there. So it is not perfectly straight yet because it is hitting that. Anyway, that's kind of what we're going for there. And so I think that's going to look okay. It doesn't look near as bad as I thought it would, honestly. Oh. So, back to the truck. Here's where I'm at. I've been working on this thing ever since I got back from the hardware store. It's like 1:10 in the afternoon now. I got this side roughed in pretty well, and took my frame thing I had off the back to just kind of hold it in place. I got this roughed in, so it's solid enough now that, you know, it supports its own weight fairly well. So I believe I'm gonna take this back out. So this line right here is my issue right now. This was the front part of this black door, and same as up here. You know, it starts to get the bow towards the inside, and this piece of metal, that's what I cut this line through it for, thinking that I'd be able to straighten it out. And you know, it's pretty close. It's pretty close, but I don't believe it's close enough, honestly. And so I cut this out of the other door and was not thinking about it when I did it. And I put it right there. Wish I would have done way back there or something, because now I want to use the section out of this door, and this is right there. So I'm just gonna have to cut all this apart and put that one back in this door. I wish I had another one of these laying around. I just measured this about 7 3/4 inches there. That was gonna be for this gap right there, but I believe I'm gonna try to use a section out of this. I gotta cut this off anyway whenever I cut this out. And the reason being that I don't want to use this is because it starts to get wider right there where it tapers into that area, the corner. So it's gonna be skinnier slightly, you know what I'm getting at. But anyway, hopefully this one is long and straight enough and the right shape. I have found that these old trucks, being hand bent or however the heck they made these things, especially, you know, this is a 64, that truck's a 65. They're pretty much the same. You know, the only differences I found with these two is the doors. See, the blue truck's got a shorter door than the black truck, and that's pretty much it. But these are just all kinds of wonky. These are shorter in places and longer in other places and roll form differently. Like this one right there, I think you can see that this and that come up higher than that. And you know, it lines up everywhere else for the most part. So that's just how it is. These old trucks. I wish I had the abilities to make brand new pieces. I wish they just came out with these from the factory so I could restore one, but that would be too easy. No such thing as something that easy, I guess, unless I had a square body sitting here, but that's a project for another time, I'd say. So anyway, I'm gonna cut all this out and put all that in, and hopefully that works. Like I was saying about the lines, this line is different on those 63 doors. You can see right there how much different it is. And so I got 2 transitions within an 1.5 inch area, a little bitty spot. Obviously that's gonna take some Bondo because I'm not that good at metalworking, but there'll only be 1 transition, hopefully. Well, and then hopefully I can make that one fit back into its own piece well enough that it's not an issue. But yeah, there'll only be the 1 transition, and then it'll all be one piece, hopefully, and it'll work out decently. And then use that area up here. We'll see. But that is the plan now.
Then I'm in heaven tonight. 6-beat sex scene playing out in my mind. One look, I'm hooked, motor running. Revved up, my heart started pumping. Are you ready for the best damn ride of your life? Give me a hell, give me a yeah. Stand up right now and give me a hell, give me a yeah. Stand up right
All right, so what we're doing right now is kind of the easy stuff on the passenger side. We're like baby stepping our way into the pillar, because I would say at this point the passenger side is 90% done. And before I did the pillar on the passenger side, I was playing with the wing windows, trying to figure out how to get those to work, so that way I could have functional windows. And so, I think I said it in one of these other videos, I made them lean back where they have an angle, and I really like having that angle in the truck. I think it looks cool. I don't have a screw for that yet because I had to drill out the rivet. Thing I just ran into that I just realized on this side, because on the other side when I did this, I took the seal out so that way it's just all exposed metal. And so this seal is still on the metal down there, and I moved it down on this piece, so it's like, but it's probably between 3/8 and 1/2 of an inch lower than it was, because I moved it down to the bottom hole, and then I drilled a new hole the same distance under the bottom hole. So anyway, I just added a new piece there. I will grind that a little smoother whenever we come to do the finishing, and I'm gonna have to get a screw in that because this thing seems to be hitting up there. So I'll grind that back a little bit so that way it operates nice and smooth like. But this side is gonna have to come completely out. I was working on the back one right here. Just got it. I came out here, chopped up some pieces. So I have to extend this, because I did extend this the way I have my window working on the other side. This is the one for the back. Which I have it out right now. It's on the table behind me. But I will be cutting out this pillar all over again, because this is what I am correcting that I did not like. And I had this jig thing on the other side, this on the other side at one point, but it is all put together as you can see. And I left some extra at the top there, and my intention with that is gonna be something has to go over here to provide extra support to the roof. And I figured that'd be a little bit extra to weld it to, instead of just, the drip rail, which I did put a thick piece of metal in the drip rail, but even still, extra strength is always good. I want this thing to be rigid and not deteriorate from getting driven, which I don't know, hopefully it shouldn't, but it will be bolted to a frame in 6 spots, front, middle, and back. So hopefully that is enough, but I'm excited to get this driver's side done, because then I can do the roof and it will actually look like a complete truck. Now, this is going to require some grinding. All this up here was ground and hit with a little abrasive thing, and it looks pretty legit. Honestly, it looks like I could use it again, maybe. I don't remember. Maybe I had to go back over it. It's got like some deep cuts in it from really abrasive, whatever. But also this door, whatever this piece is off of, this corner piece, it seems to be round right there. So I'm going to have this door off at some point and put it on a flat block and motivate it with a hammer and make sure everything here is nice and in line. And it looks like this door's not closed all the way, so that door gap, that line seems to line up pretty good. I really can't wait to get a drivetrain under this thing, because it does have the C60 drivetrain. The 10 lug wheels still bolt to it. I have them in the shed behind the shop because they're hideous, and this truck's like a foot taller and harder to work on when it's sitting on those pizza cutters. So I keep it like this to keep myself motivated because it looks cool. Also, this door, it looks pretty good right there. This thing, even though I had it clecoed in and clamped in and spot welded, I went down and welded it all the way in, and it did warp just a hair, it seems like. So I may have to put some extra material in here. I gotta grind this out. I haven't had the door back off though to do that, and obviously I gotta fill this in still. It's just like finishing touches here. I might build that up. It probably does need to be built up some. It's gonna be a difficult spot. Honestly, this line and that line do not line up now that I'm looking at this. So not sure how I'm gonna, that might be a problem. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to build this out some more too. I mean, this is, you know, it's 90% done. Like I said, this is how I want it to look, and this is good enough. It's got some rigidity. The inside is welded now on both of these, because this was floppy for a while. One thing I realized I made a mistake on this door. Like I was saying, it's closer up here than down there. I don't know, it really looks good in this video, but I tell you what I did do the other day. I put a block of wood up here and shut the door on the block of wood and pushed pretty hard, and I think it did bend it closer to where it's supposed to be. This one here, obviously it's not ground at the bottom yet, but there is another piece of metal in there, and you can see the tack welds. And this looked like such a big gap. That's why I did that, and it doesn't look quite as big now. And I ran out of that piece of metal right there, so all the top doesn't have that piece of metal yet, and I'll have to put that back there still. So I bought some of those at the hardware store yesterday. I'll mess with this side at some point. Looks like I never did weld that in. It doesn't line up perfectly. You know, there's like a big dip right there, I guess, where probably where I started to weld the inside and then had to like maneuver the outside, and you know, pried at the top of this. It may have put that dent in there. Here's my back window. All right, let's just open this door. So this is all screwed up right now. I had one of the I think the roller thing that goes right here, the one that tracks on this little track right here, it came apart. So the roller is in the bottom of the door somewhere, and that's why this thing is all silly looking. But the window did work. It does need some fine adjustments, because the way I had it, the wing window was at an angle going down, and right there it bolts in at the bottom, and then I drilled some holes back here, and screws in just like, you know, the front one does. But this is obviously completely backwards from how it was from the factory, so I had to make the window work quite a bit, do some changing of things. What I did was I shortened these, I think exactly 2 inches, these roller things and these mechanisms, and that made it where, because when these were 2 inches longer, it was hitting this post right here, the guide, the window guide, and couldn't be having that. It would just hit it and stop. It wouldn't go up or down. Well, it'd go down, so I shortened it. That works, but it changed the ratio of travel on this, so now it rolls up pretty fast, and that's fine, I guess. But the other issue is where I have this welded. Well, I had it screwed, you know, because it's factory, it's riveted, and I don't have any rivets laying around. I wasn't going to use pop rivets, so it was screwed originally, and then I had a roller on. I'll have to put it all back together and show you. But basically, I had a roller on each side of the guide there. So one would like contact the front, and as it goes up, it would push it and keep it going that way. And then as you roll it back down, the angle is this way. So there's a roller on the other side and grabbing it, and so basically making it track with the window guide. This is my general shape. For the most part, design. I like to tweak the corners and edges and make sure, because this is more round than this is gonna be. And like whenever you get really looking close, you can see there's like light back in there, which it does cover once it rolls all the way up. But the other thing is there's not seals in there, so it is going up further or further that way, or into the guide right here, because none of them have seals. It's all just metal right now. So I think I have a few seals laying around. Here's one. You know, hopefully I got enough to put it most of the way around so I can fit the window and make sure it fits and trim off where I need to. I believe this angle is slightly off, like where the Sharpie mark is. I'll have to modify that angle just a hair to get the perfect angle, the exact same angle with what I built on the wing window there. That one's leaning back. So that is my goal. See what else we got here. Yes, so I welded that to the bottom. So I had to stop that last video. Anyway, I don't know. I think I was just rambling anyway. So this is gonna be different. I did go buy another door. It's back behind the truck. Somebody had taken the door skin off of it and put a new door skin on the bottom half and put Dynamat or whatever on the inside and put a lot of work into this thing, and it's nice and crispy. And there's a little seam right there that's super neat and not warped at all. So I don't know if it was TIG or MIG, but somebody did a freaking awesome job on this. So that sucks for them because I'm going to cut it up and make it into my back door. And, you know, really, the reason I had to do that, I didn't even have to do that, but I felt that this thing was so mutilated because I changed my mind so many times that it would be better to start with a straight piece of metal. And really, that's not that bad, but I'll tell you one thing is this has to come off of that, and whenever I grind that off, it is quite possible that it is going to destroy the fold over piece on the back. So it probably will. I mean, I don't know. I may have to add to that anyway, because just to get the door gaps right. Well, anyway, this is going to be longer up here. So now that this is going to be longer, this piece is garbage, because on the other side, let's see, the door probably goes back like another inch or two compared to this one. I mean, you can see it right there. There's where the pillar leans back and then goes the rest of the way up. Got my windows closer together, more symmetrical looking. They're closer to the same size over there. That's how I wanted them to be. So, you know, I may use some of this if I can, but like I've already got my 90-degree angle made. My goal is I'm going to get these wing windows made for the most part, which that probably won't take too much longer to do. And once I have that done, I suppose my next step would be to cut and hack what I already have here back apart. And see, I changed this so many times that I got these big gaps and they just be really hard to fill in. And, you know, I changed my mind too many times on this side, and this is kind of the result of what that is. So. All just one day's progress, and so it's pretty good for one day, I'd say. I gotta go through and finish all these little areas that are just tacked, and it's on the inside too. I have it overlapping. I did the other side the same way, so you can see there, and then also this way, if you can see that. So it's welded. It's pretty rigid. It's only welded in a spot weld right there and there on the bottom, so I can't just like grab it and shake the whole truck. But and it's only got tack welds up here too. So, I mean, it is solid enough. The truck is rocking right now, but it is far from finished. Yeah, I mean, same as the other side. It'll go just like that, and then I'll put some Clecos in it. So that's probably what I'll do next is go through and grind off these little areas. I got a piece cut already. I had to do it on the other side too. Let's see. This one here, this looks like the one that's the right length. So it's just like 3/8, half inch wide little piece. But it's gonna sit right there and give this thing some more depth. Because the other side, I had to build it up a little bit to get this to sit where I want it. It almost looks different than earlier. I'm gonna build the whole thing out. I don't know. Anyway, it'll get built out on the back just a hair. Probably about that much, honestly. And it tapers closer at the top. Something about like that. That seems to be what's going to make it look right. And then on the other side, I just drilled holes all through this about every inch and spot welded it on the way down. Same on both sides. And welded the edge too, and then ground it clean so it's nice and round over there. But honestly, this is coming together pretty quickly, a lot quicker than I thought it would. I got to get underneath of this done first, and then I'll prime it, prime that, and weld it. So I did on the other side, hopefully preventing rust. Inside the truck, got a roof made for the outside. The ceiling is welded in. The roof is not welded on yet. I still got to take it back off, run wiring for the cab lights. I got to drill holes for the 3 center cab lights still. I got to prime the bottom of the roof and the top. I had to tweak it quite a bit, weld some 90-degree angle on this, just sheet metal angle. It's not like a thick piece of steel or anything, but also there's a few holes I still gotta touch up that I blew. This whole truck's been done with a MIG welder. I don't have a TIG. But anyway, yeah, this has been a productive week. This back door, I messed with it a little bit at the beginning of the week, but for the most part, I've been focusing on the roof. So I haven't touched this at all. I think I tweaked up here. That was one of the last things I did on the doors is added to this. I may have to add to it more. I think actually this piece warped when I welded this whole pillar together. So, but yeah, for the most part, this door's done. I gotta fill this hole here still. And this is fairly smooth. May have a touch of Bondo over this, but I hit it all with the sander. Well, looks like I still need to grind that. But for the most part, it is reasonably smooth. It does need touching up. I'm not done. I'm gonna go through and grind off all these spot welds. That's how I put the ceiling together. And then that, I gotta go back under this piece and prime it still. It's not been primed underneath. And I may take it out altogether and add another one of these 1/8 inch shims behind it because the doors are further out than what I had planned on. This one's not exactly where I just kind of have it rudimentarily thrown together right now. There's no structure on the inside because I've had my hands inside this door trying to rig up how to get the window to work, and I got that figured out. I put another, let's see, this is just supporting it, makeshift, but I put a piece of window slide in there, and then it's just got a piece of steel that I bent, bolted right there. And then I have this is the only door so far that I just stuck some seal in. It doesn't even go all the way around. Of course, this isn't done yet up there, but the window does work. And I had to weld this in because this was like leaning way over that way and making a big old gap between the top of the door and the frame. So we'll see. It should roll up a whole lot straighter now because it was wanting to follow this track. Yeah, see, now it goes right in there real nicely. It was lean, the window wasn't going in the door because the door was lopsided before I welded this angle iron in. But yeah, that worked pretty good. This piece of wood is not cut exactly square for this window, but I did make sure this wing window and the one on that door matched. So they are the exact same. It's just, I put this originally was the one I was using for that door, and it doesn't fit that one either. And honestly, if you roll it down a little bit, you can see this is a lot more of a corner. This is kind of rounded. So I'm gonna go buy another piece of this wood and cut another new piece out for the window. I don't remember if I had one made for the back window or not. I know I didn't on this side. I think I did on the other side, but anyway, I gotta go tweak this still. It's kind of like at an upward angle right there, and I do not like that. This should be close. The only problem I think I'm gonna run into with these are finding a seal that goes a little bit further because it was not designed to go like this. But that's how I made this. I had to bend it a little bit. It looks like it's kind of off right there. This is sitting further inside the door than the passenger side. I'm not sure what is different. There's something up here that prevented it from going up as high. But my goal with these was only to open right about that far. And as far as the top of that sticks out, that thing with a window in it is gonna bring a whole lot of air in, and it's gonna blow it across the back of the cab. So, yeah, this ain't gonna, I have to push it. It's kind of popping out of the track. All right, so that's in. Doors operate. I have to tweak these gaps. That'll be leaned further in as I get done with it because I got to make the inside structure still, but this one's pretty close. I think I will have to bend it a hair because I did weld a pretty fat bead on the edge of this thing, and it's like close at the top and bottom, but in the middle it's all bowed out. So I took this one, actually it was that door right there, and I set it on that 4x4 block and beat it with a hammer and made it nice and straight at the top. So I set these cab lights on. The two on the outside are screwed in because it had only 2 cab lights on this truck before. So the holes don't line up, only the front one does. The other ones must have been smaller. I have no idea where they are. But this one's, they're longer. The hole that I'm gonna have to drill is further back than the original ones that came off. But The 3 center ones are just sitting on there. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do 3 in a cluster right in the center like that, or if I wanted to do them evenly spaced like the one right there, like more, you know. But I looked at the Dodge out here, and I'm really heavily influenced by these Dodge Rams because they're freaking sexy. And that I intend to use a 6.7 Cummins in this thing anyway, so. But I'm not positive. I would say Duramaxes are also 3 in a cluster because the truck that was on the advertisement for these cab lights looked like it was a 15-ish body style GMC Denali. So they were all 3 in a cluster. What the heck, dog? But yeah, I did a lot to the roof. I guess one of the last times I'd welded it before I finally put it on this truck. It's been years ago since the last time I welded on it, up until here recently. You can see there's a little bit of fresh welds piled up right there. So what I did was, like you can see here, all these fresh tack welds on the outside. I bent a piece of, actually 3 pieces, because I only have a 36-inch break over there. So there's a 36-inch piece in the center, and then 2 6-inch pieces on the outside. And that gave me the whole 48 inches of the piece of metal that I scabbed in there, because it starts right there, and it ends right there where that seam is. So that's 48 inches. Used a piece of 4x10. This isn't it. It's a piece from years and years ago. I bought that one to do the ceiling, which I forgot to show you all that. It's welded in finally. So I did not do bead rolled. I wanted it to look like a modern truck where it has a structure up there. Plus this is going to help with rigidity. This is all going to be covered. I know it's kind of ugly right now and there's all this soot. I drilled through it with an 1/8 inch drill bit all the way through, all 2 layers here, 3 layers up here where it goes through this, it goes through this piece, and then the top skin, and it goes all, well, you can't see it now, it's covered, but there's another skin, and that's this piece here. And so that connects this, these, and the front. But this thing's pretty solid now. Wanted it to have some structure, like I can shake the whole truck. You can't tell, but I don't know, 2-ton suspension. Sit here and jiggle the top of this pillar, it still shakes the whole truck because it's still on the C60 frame. I'll probably hit this with a wire wheel if it's necessary. I don't know, I'll clean it up and just prime it again. That's all I'm really concerned about. I'm gonna put a headliner in here. So, and it's gonna be like a modern truck. That's the whole goal here. Old, but with a hint of new. So that way it's drivable, it's comfortable, it's powerful, it's sexy. People look at it and they're just like, holy shit. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Fleet side bed. Gonna put a dump, leave the dump cylinder in there. Of course, it will get changed over to the Dodge Ram frame that I'm gonna use. So the roof skin over here, I'm gonna have to clamp it before I weld it. It's all tweaked and I hand bent this thing and didn't know what I was doing. So, plus did not really have the proper tools. So the window works on this door too, but it is not in there because I was using that one board I had in that door. The front window board is in that door. It's just like fell off the track. It's in the bottom. So. Yeah, this side looks kind of rough. I don't know. I'll have to grind that hair more, and this side will get some Blondo, it looks to me like. I'm not super worried about all the finishing details just yet. I wanted to get the majority of this metal work done. Another thing that I'm gonna have to worry about is these. And next time I build a crew cab, I know this now, I'll take the rockers off the truck because this down here is also a part of the pillar. And I just kind of built the pillar above that and didn't really focus on this too much. not this, I guess back there. I had to replace a piece of it on this black cab. I don't know if you can see it with this door in the way, but it is that piece that I just showed you, the little flange with the nut in it right there, because this truck will have steps on it at some point, not C60 steps because those are hideous, but some electric running boards like a new truck. So when you open the door, the little switch powers these things to pop down just like that. And I don't know, steps were mounted there on these trucks originally, so I wanted it to be solid enough to do that again. So, you know, all this dust and shit's in here from this project and years of driving and whatever else. Got some minor rust that I think the rockers are going to be the last major project on this truck, in the bottom of those pillars. Looks to me like all the fabrication is done. Well, the hardest part of it, the worst of it, I still got to do the roof. I got to take it off. But I took some like 5/16 little rods, maybe 3/8, I don't know. But where this side was wavy, it was long enough that I could put it to the front and back. And I just welded the front and back and then tried to bend the roof to it instead of bend it to the roof, because this roof was wavy. I mean, that took a lot of it out, but it's still, you can obviously see that there. When I clamp it down and weld it, that won't be an issue anymore. It's not really giving it any low spots. I welded 2 of those rods across this side and that side of the seam because that's where I was having my oil canning issues. It had 2 waves in it. So I welded one to this side, and I think I even welded one to that side first and then beat the center and tried to get those dents out. But that just didn't work, so I took a grinder, cut out the welds that were the issue area, and then welded it. It kept on trying to oil can and come back, and so I had to keep on beating it with a hammer, weld little bitty bits at a time. But after enough motivation with the hammer, it seemed to work. I should have opened this garage door. I did have the roof skin leaned up against this, and so I had this one opened in a few days. But yeah, now we can get this view of the truck.
since the days of old, men would search for wealth untold. They dig for silver and for gold and leave the empty holes. And way down south in the Everglades, where the black water rolls and the sawgrass waves, the eagles fly and the otters play in the land of the Seminole. So blow, blow, Seminole wind, blow like you're never gonna blow again. I'm calling to you like a long lost friend, but I know who you are. And blow, blow from the Okeechobee